All right, strap yourselves in because today we are diving headfirst into Night City.
Ooh, exciting.
It is.
Sounds fun.
But we're not just going to wander around aimlessly, are we?
No, we are not.
We're going to arm ourselves with the ultimate visitor's guide.
Yeah.
Think of this as your survival manual
Absolutely.
for navigating the mean streets and finding the best chrome shops and knowing which districts to avoid when the sun goes down.
I mean, that's the key to, having a good time in Night City, right?
Exactly.
It's knowing where to go and when and where not to go.
And to help us out with that, we have an expert here
Hello.
who knows this city inside and out.
I've spent a lot of time in Night City, that's for sure, both virtually and
Yeah.
in my head.
So you know all the ins and outs,
I do.
all the secrets.
All the hidden gems, all the dangers.
And speaking of dangers, I've always been fascinated by the history of Night City
Yes.
because it's not all chrome and neon, is it?
No, not a...
There's a lot of darkness in its past.
Yeah, it's a city built on extremes, Richard Knight, who, founded the city.
Yeah.
He had this vision of a corporate utopia,
Ah.
but things didn't exactly go according to plan.
What happened? I mean, what went wrong?
Well, after Richard Knight died,
Yeah.
things kind of spiraled out of control.
Right.
The megacorp, they started vying for power,
Yeah.
societal structures crumbled, and the city became a battleground, basically.
So it was a full-on corporate war.
Oh, yeah. The corporate wars, they left a permanent mark on the city.
So when we see those like crumbling buildings and the kind of the grit in certain areas, that's left over from
A scar from the past, yeah.
Wow. So it wasn't always this like cyberpunk haven. There's actually a lot of
No, it was a dream that turned into a nightmare.
yeah.
And that kind of that history, that's what makes it so interesting,
Right, because you can still see it
You could feel it.
in the city today.
Yeah, it's in the architecture, it's in the people.
So where for a visitor, like where do we even begin?
Well, you can't talk about Night City without mentioning the city center.
Yeah.
It's like the heart of it all, right?
Heart of the beast.
The megacorp, they have their headquarters there, these massive skyscrapers, Arasaka Tower, Militech, Biotechnica, they're all there kind of looming over the city.
So it's like super high tech.
Oh, it's gleaming, it's high tech, it's
Polish.
polished, yeah, but it's also, it's a place of power. It's where the elite reside, and you definitely feel that when you're there.
So probably a lot of security too then, right?
Oh, yeah. City center is heavily patrolled.
Yeah.
NCPD is everywhere.
Right. So maybe not the best place to like cause any trouble.
No, not unless you want to end up in a MaxTac black site, which you do not.
Okay, no, I don't.
No. So you're right. You gotta be on your best behavior in city center.
So where should we go if we want like a more authentic kind of down and dirty Night City experience?
You're looking for something a little more gritty.
Yeah, a little more yeah.
In that case, you gotta head to Watson.
Okay.
Now, Watson is a different beast altogether. It's a melting pot of cultures,
Like what?
Japanese, Chinese, Latino, you name it, it's all there.
Wow.
Bustling markets, street food vendors, that kind of vibe.
And what about that that little rumor that Watson is the place to go for, shall we say, affordable cyberware?
Yeah, let's just say Watson has a certain reputation, yeah.
Right.
You can find just about anything there if you know where to look.
Okay, so Ripper Docs.
Ripper Docs galore, some are better than others.
Yeah, imagine.
So, do your research, choose carefully.
Right, I'll make sure to ask around.
Yeah, word of mouth is key in Watson.
Word of mouth. Okay, so Watson's on the list.
Definitely.
What about Westbrook? What's going on in Westbrook?
Westbrook is interesting.
Wow.
It's a mix,
Like a mix of what?
You've got these pockets of affluence, like North Oak, very nice.
Okay.
But then you also have areas where gang activity is, rampant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Valentinos, they have a strong presence in Westbrook.
And the Valentinos, okay.
Yeah, they're known for their loyalty,
Yeah.
their sense of community, but they're also,
Fiercely territorial.
they can be ruthless. Yeah.
So it's kind of like high stakes in Westbrook then.
Yeah, Westbrook it's a gamble,
Okay.
You could have a great time, but you gotta be careful.
Gotcha.
Wrong place, wrong time. Things can go south quickly.
Right? Noted.
So yeah, eyes open in Westbrook.
Eyes open,
Always.
always off.
What about Haywood? We haven't really talked about Haywood.
Haywood.
What's the vibe?
Haywood is, it's kind of like the suburbs of Night City.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of the corporate middle class live there, They've got their little houses, their picket fences.
But it's still Night City. Oh yeah, it's still Night City. Don't let the facade fool you.
So there's like a dark underbelly to Haywood?
There's always a dark underbelly in Night City.
Right.
Especially in the lower income zones of Haywood.
So it's like a false sense of security.
In a way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like this weird juxtaposition, you know?
Yeah.
You got this, like, semblance of normalcy, but then you turn a corner and it's, you know, back to the chaos.
Wow, okay.
That's Night City for you.
All right, well, we still have a few more districts to uncover.
We do.
What about Santo Domingo? What's going on in Santo Domingo?
Santo Domingo, that's the industrial heart of Night City.
Right.
That's where the factories are, the construction. It never stops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the air is thick with, like, the smell of metal and sweat.
So, not exactly a tourist destination.
Not unless you're really into heavy machinery.
So I'm guessing not a lot of, like, 5-star hotels in Santo Domingo?
No, not so much.
All right.
But it's an important part of the city, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's the engine.
It keeps things running.
Right. It's what makes everything else possible.
Exactly. So it's worth a visit, you know, to see that side of Night City.
Yeah, to see, like, where it all happens.
The underbelly.
The underbelly, exactly.
Literally and figuratively.
All right, so we've gotten a taste of the different districts.
We have.
But what about, like, the actual tourist experience?
Yeah, you want to know what to do in Night City?
Yeah, what are the must-sees, the must-dos?
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, you cannot go to Night City and not experience brain dance.
Brain dance. Okay, that's the big one.
The big one, yeah.
What's so special about brain dance?
It's not just entertainment. It's like another reality.
Okay.
Imagine plugging directly into someone else's experiences, their memories,
Oh, wow.
all their senses, the sights, the sounds, the emotions, everything.
So it's not like watching a movie. It's like
living it.
whoa.
Yeah, that's the power of brain dance.
But it can be dangerous, right? I've heard stories.
Oh, it can be very dangerous, especially if you're not careful.
Okay. In what way?
Well, brain dance, it can be addictive.
Right.
And the content, you know, it can be intense.
Okay.
So you got to choose your vendors wisely.
No back alley brain dance deals then.
No. Stick to the reputable places.
Okay, right.
Safety first, always, especially with brain dance.
Noted. No back alley brain dance deals.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of things that can be addictive, let's talk about shopping.
Ooh, shopping.
Yeah, you got to experience Night City fashion.
What's the style?
Style.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything, man. It's a statement. It's about expressing yourself, you know, your tribe.
Right.
You got the chrome-plated cyberpunks. You got the sleek corporate types.
Yeah.
You got the edgy street style of the gangs.
I'm gonna need like a whole different wardrobe depending on where I'm going in Night City.
Pretty much, yeah. You got to blend in.
Blend in or stand out, I guess, depending on what you're going for.
Exactly. It's all about sending the right message.
So any particular brands or styles that I should be on the lookout for?
Well, if you want that classic cyberpunk look, you can't go wrong with Trauma Team gear.
Okay. Yeah.
Functional, durable, and, you know, it sends a message that you're not someone to mess with.
Right. Yeah. Don't mess with me.
Exactly. And on the more high-end side, you got brands like King Tao, Kiroshi Optics, very stylish.
Okay. I'm taking notes. This is all good stuff.
Good. You're gonna need it.
Okay. So Trauma Team Kang Tao. Got it.
Yeah, you're getting there.
But how do we get around?
Transportation, that's key in Night City.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sprawling city.
Sprawling and dangerous, so you need a good ride.
So what are the options? What are people driving in Night City?
Well, you gotta talk about the cars, man. They're iconic.
Yeah, they're like straight out of like a cyberpunk movie.
Oh yeah, but it's not just about the looks. These cars are powerful, they're fast.
And expensive, I imagine.
Oh yeah, especially the high-end models.
So if I wanted like cruise Night City in style,
Yeah.
what should I be looking for?
Well, if you want to make a statement, you gotta go for the Quadra Turbo R VTEC.
The Quadra Turbo R.
Yeah, it's a classic, man.
Okay.
It's fast, it's loud, it turns heads.
But I bet it costs an arm and a leg.
More like an arm and a cybernetic leg.
Right.
But hey, you only live once, right?
That's true, that's true.
Now, if you're on a bit more of a budget, the Mizutani Shion Coyote is a good option.
The Coyote, okay.
Yeah, it's reliable, it's fuel efficient, and it can handle the city's crazy traffic.
All right, so Quadra for style, Mizutani for practicality.
Exactly, you got it.
But what about safety?
Safety, always a concern in Night City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming carjacking is a problem.
Oh yeah, it's rampant, especially in certain districts.
So what do we do? Like, how do we protect ourselves?
Well, first of all, invest in a good security system.
Okay.
And be aware of your surroundings.
All right.
Don't leave valuables in your car. And maybe even consider an old school steering wheel lock, just in case.
Yeah, those never go out of style, do they?
Nope, not in Night City.
All right, so we've got our car, we've got our outfit, we've experienced brain dance.
We're making progress.
But I'm hungry.
Ah, food, yes.
What's the food scene like in Night City?
Night City's food scene is as diverse as the city itself.
Okay.
You can find anything you want, from street food to, Michelin star restaurants.
Wow, so it's a
culinary adventure, basically.
For if I'm on a budget, where should I go?
Street food, my friend.
Street food, okay.
Head to Watson. The markets there are incredible.
Right.
You got ramen, tacos, curry, whatever you're craving.
And it's all, authentic, made with...
Oh, yeah. It's the real deal.
Okay.
Made with love and probably a little bit of grit.
Right. That Night City grit, I like it.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's say, I've got a few eddies to burn.
You want to go fancy?
Yeah, I want the high-end experience.
Then you got to hit up the restaurants in the city center.
Okay.
They've got some world-renowned chefs there.
So molecular gastronomy, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the cutting edge of culinary arts.
Wow. Okay, so street food in Watson, fancy restaurants in city center. But what if I want something more underground?
Ah, you're looking for the hidden gems.
Yeah, the real deal.
All right, I like your style.
So what's the secret?
The secret is the underground food scene.
Okay, tell me more.
These pop-up kitchens, they appear in different locations every night.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta know a guy who knows a guy.
All right, so it's like a treasure hunt.
Exactly, but the food is worth it, trust me.
Okay, underground food scene. Add it to the list.
Good, you're learning.
But, with all this talk of food and fun, we can't forget about the darker side of Night City.
Ah, yes, the danger.
The gangs, the violence, the cyberpsychosis.
That underbelly we were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate that as visitors?
Well, the key is awareness.
Okay.
The gangs, they're a powerful force in Night City. Each one controls their own territory.
Right.
You got the Maelstrom, obsessed with cybernetics, very dangerous.
All right.
You got the Valentinos, they have their own strict code of honor.
So it's like organized crime, almost.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, so we got to know who's who.
You got to know who to avoid and where to avoid them.
So basically, don't wander into the wrong neighborhood.
Especially not at night.
All right, what about cyberpsychosis? That always freaked me out.
Cyberpsychosis is a very real danger in Night City, yeah.
And how do you even spot a cyberpsycho?
Well, they tend to exhibit certain signs, erratic behavior, paranoia, aggression.
So basically anyone who looks like they're about to snap.
Pretty much, yeah. So best to keep your distance.
Right, okay, so avoid gang territory, watch out for cyberpsychos.
Those are the basics.
But isn't that part of the appeal of Night City?
What do you mean?
The danger, the edge?
Ah, I see what you're saying.
It's what draws people in.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, that's for sure.
So how do we find that balance?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
It's about being aware of the risks, but also being open to the experience.
So not letting the fear paralyze us.
Exactly. Night City is a city that rewards those who are bold,
Okay, bold but not reckless.
Exactly. It's a fine line.
Fine line.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, that's what makes it Night City.
Exactly.
All right, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
We've talked about the districts.
We've talked about the attractions, the dangers.
The food. But there's still more to explore, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Night City's got layers, man.
So stay tuned, because we're just getting started.
Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride.
It always is in Night City.
Always.
So we've gotten a taste of the different districts and the vibes.
Yeah, we've done some exploring.
Yeah, and where to go for what. But what about the people? Who are these people?
Ah, the heart and soul of Night City.
Yeah, we've talked about the corporate types and the edge runners and the gangs.
Yeah.
But who are the everyday people? What are their lives like?
The people of Night City, they're survivors, man.
Okay.
They've seen it all, they've been through it all, they're tough, they're resourceful, they're independent.
But is there, a sense of community?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it seems like it'd be every man for himself.
You'd think so, right?
Right.
But it's not. People look out for each other. They have to. They bond over their shared struggles,
So there's a kind of camaraderie that comes out of the hardship.
Exactly. You see it in the local bars, the street markets. They come together, they share stories, they help each other out.
That's kind of heartwarming, actually.
It is. There's a real sense of humanity there, despite all the darkness.
Yeah, because it's easy to focus on the negative, you know?
Oh, yeah, the violence, the poverty, the corporate greed.
Right.
But there's also beauty there, there's hope, there's resilience.
And, like, there's two sides to every coin, really.
Exactly. Night City is full of contradictions.
It's what makes it so fascinating.
It's what makes it real, you know?
Yeah.
It's a reflection of us, of humanity.
All right, so we've got a taste of the districts, the attractions, the dangers, the people.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
Is there anything else a visitor to Night City should know before they jack in?
I would say go in with an open mind, be prepared for sensory overload, embrace the chaos.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It is, and most importantly, remember that Night City demands respect.
Okay, respect in what way?
Respect its power, respect its people, respect its history.
All right, respect. Got it.
You do that, and you'll have an unforgettable experience.
Unforgettable. That's one word for it.
For sure.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up for this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We've barely scratched the surface.
Oh, there's so much more to explore.
Oh, there's so much more. I mean, the nightlife alone could be a whole episode.
Definitely.
The music scene, the gangs, the the underbelly. We could go on and on.
We could, but we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, we gotta leave some mystery, right?
Always.
So until next time, stay safe out there, Chumbas.
And try not to get chopped up.
Good advice.
You need it.
Man, Night City is a lot to take in.
It is. It's a whirlwind.
Yeah, I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
Oh, we have. Barely.
I mean, we've talked about the districts, the food, the cars, the fashion.
The dangers, the attractions.
Almost like there's still so much more.
There's always more in Night City.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back to the people for a minute.
Okay, yeah, the heart of the city.
Yeah, because we've talked about, like, the corporate elite and the gangs and the, the fixers and all of that.
The colorful characters.
Yeah, but, like, who are the everyday people?
The ones who kept the city running.
Yeah, like, what are their lives like?
Well, I think the one word that describes the people of Night City is resilient.
Okay, resilient.
They've been through so much, the wars, the poverty, the violence.
Yeah, it's a tough place.
But they're still there. They're still fighting. They're still making a life for themselves.
So, like, is there hope in Night City?
There's always hope, even in the darkest places.
Okay.
It's just, you gotta look for it.
So, like, what gives them hope?
Community. I think the people of Night City, they look out for each other. They support each other.
It's like they have to, almost.
They do. It's a matter of survival.
Right.
But it's also more than that. It's a sense of belonging,
Yeah, like a shared experience.
Exactly. They've all been through the same things. They understand each other.
So even though it's a tough city, there's still like a sense of humanity there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good to hear. I was starting to get a little pessimistic.
Don't worry, Night City has a way of surprising you.
All right, so any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are, maybe thinking about booking a ticket to Night City?
Just remember, Night City is a city of extremes.
Okay, so be prepared.
Be prepared for anything and everything.
What does that even mean?
It means be open to new experiences, but also be careful.
All right, so keep your wits about you.
Exactly. And remember, respect the city, respect its people, and you'll have a hell of a time.
Respect. Got it. All right, well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into Night City.
A whirlwind tour, but a good one.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot.
Me too. Always something new to discover in Night City.
It's a city that never sleeps, right?
Never sleeps, never stops changing.
Well, on that note, we'll let you go, listeners.
Stay safe out there, Chumbas.
And until next time, keep your eyes on the neon.
And your hand on your wallet.
Good advice.